Good evening, it's Matt from Tesla Pittsburgh. Well, it's cold outside. You can see I got the winter tires installed. I've got the Men's Health Awareness Movember growth going on, which my wife hates. But for this video, I'm going to talk to you about getting power to your car. Here in my own garage, obviously, I just use my mobile connector. But if you're traveling, you might not be able to reach all the way back to your plug. So that's where this comes in. So here's the scenario. You were able to get your Tesla someplace where you have destination charging, and you have your universal mobile connector with you, the same one that I use to charge here at home. But it won't reach for whatever reason, and you need a way to get from your car through the mobile connector to the 50 amp outlet that's available to you. That's where this comes in. It's the Camco 30-foot 50 amp extension cord. Now it weighs about 24 pounds, a little bit less, and it is hefty, and I'm going to show you basically how you can use it. Well, first things first, are you hungry, Serena? First of all, here's how it comes. You have your female end and your male end. You should know the difference. The cord has this very handy handle, literally a handy handle, and it is connected with one of these clip ties, like so. And that helps you carry this heavy cord around, and it is pretty heavy. Now this obviously is the Tesla mobile connector, the part that goes in the car, and I pulled it out here so you can look at the difference in the size of the wires. There is a big difference between them. The wire itself is actually wrapped in a very heavy-duty rubberized coating, and I have no doubt that it can take these abrasions from the garage floor and such with ease. In fact, it's a lot sturdier than the Tesla wire is coated. Again, you can see the difference in the thickness there. Each end of the cable has this heavy-duty molding on it, and it's very high quality. Actually, it's very securely put on there, and it's a hefty piece. But according to the tag, I should be able to put my whole hand in there to give me maximum pulling power in and out, in case I would need it. Hopefully your plug's not that tight. But you really can't get all your fingers in there. It's a little too tight for that. So this is a more realistic grip. That's not so comfortable either, frankly. But I suppose it's better than just having the bare plug. So for the purposes of demonstration, we're just going to hook this up inside the garage. First you got to get this to the plug, and as you pull it away, here's one of the downsides of such a hefty cable, is it doesn't really go anywhere very easily. I suppose that's why you're supposed to be able to yank on it, but like I said, not a perfect fit. And it just is a little unwieldy. Alright, I finally got it to my plug. It was my workout for the day. Now we're just jam that in. Just like that. Nice solid connection. And now we're going to pull the female end just to stretch it out a little bit. Again, you can see this cord, of course it's no fault of Camco. When you're making a cord this hefty, it's going to be unwieldy. And it certainly does not want to uncoil easily. There we've got the tie free. In fact, I can imagine when this gets cold, if it were outside, you'd really have your hands full. Alright, you wait there please. Okay, got my Tesla connector. Put it down, plug that in. Nice, good, firm, tight fit. Got the green light. Serena's happy. Here comes dinner. Now I actually have this set on a scheduled charge so that we can go in the car and monitor the charge rate. Okay, she's all excited. We're going to flip this over and let it ramp up. Now, as you can see, I normally charge here at 40 amps. Let's make sure she'll run all the way up to 40 just like normal. Looks like the car is checking the connection to make sure that it can carry that load. And it's now slowly ramping up to the full amount. And there we go. No problem. Well, after a few minutes charging, we seem to have topped out at 26 miles per hour. Now that is slightly slower than what I normally get with the same power draw. Oh, we just went up to 27. So I guess the length of the cord doesn't seem to have a large effect on how fast it's charging. And maybe the ramp is slightly slower. But overall, looks like it pulls just fine. Okay, checking in with the other display, you can see that after the first 2 miles have been added, we're up to 28 miles per hour, which is pretty close to what I think I normally get. I think it's normally 29 miles per hour. And maybe it'll make that jump if I let it charge longer. But yeah, despite going through 30 more feet of wire, the power's going in at the same rate as it always does. Excellent. Excellent indeed. So Serena is happily charging away on her normal cord now, and we're going to see if the charging rate goes up any higher than it did with the Camco extension. I can't think that it does, but I want to be thorough. And one thing I will say is pulling the cords back apart is a lot easier with this handle. Even though I can't get my hand all the way in it, I don't have any trouble separating the two cords, which is something that with other extension cords can be a problem. So the handle is a real big benefit in that regard, especially if they were frozen together being outside in the weather, which if you're using campground plugs or things like that, they might be. Now while we're talking about them being outside at a campground and frozen together, consider that a cord of this size, any cord that has been outside and frozen, is going to become basically an anaconda that you're going to be wrestling back into a coil and somehow stuffing back into your intergalactic spaceship of wonder and light. So that's a consideration for all cords. This one's no different, but when you got to get power all the way to your car, that's probably your best bet. Okay, I got it all back together, and we've got Serena on her normal baby bottle, so to speak. Let's go check and see if the rate's any different. And after the same amount of charge time, more or less, I am in fact up to 30 miles per hour. So the cord does seem to take some effect out of the charging, but 2 miles per hour to go an extra 30 feet is not really that significant. So it's easy for me to say that it's a 30-foot extension cord, and you could probably take a tape measure and figure out how far that is. But combined with the mobile connector, what does that really look like for distance? Well, tomorrow morning I'm going to show you what that looks like. I'd do it now, except there's two problems. One, it's dark outside, and two, I have to shave this off because we're going to go see the in-laws for Thanksgiving, and that's not going to fly. So I'll see you in the morning, and I'm going to demonstrate what you're actually getting. Morning. So here we are outside in the beautiful daylight, and you can see kind of how far you're able to get with 30 feet of cord. So we're plugged in here, pretty tightly pulled all the way up the driveway. So that's 1 car length, 2 car lengths. Here's that 90-degree connector issue we mentioned in the blog, and then all the way up to the car. Well, ultimately it comes down to, does it do that? I've taken a 25-foot tape measure and I've placed it along the cord. Now, it starts up there at the plug adapter and it comes all the way back here to the garage. And if I can get it up there, you'll see it's a couple feet extra. So for a 25-foot tape measure and a 30-foot cord, it looks like we came out pretty close. You add in the length of the UMC, and you're probably able to get a good 45 feet of extra charging range. All in all, not bad.